Hey everybody, I'm Ella Rowe, and this is Tired of the Bull, and this is my friend, best friend ever, Asuna. Today, she's the book lover. You seen the comic book lovers? This is the book lover. We're gonna address Twilight later. Twilight will be in it. We're just gonna tell you now, but we're gonna get our non-Twilight loving friend just to add in a little bit of mixture. Today we're talking about True Blood series. The Sookie Stackhouse novels.
And the despicable last book.
We'll get to that one later.
Oh, that just angers me.
We'll get to that one later. Well, actually, we can talk about that now. I feel like because of the way the show was going, she changed Sookie's personality.
She did.
Utterly and completely. Like, it was going away. She never wanted to have children. She felt like her child was her nephew. And she utterly and completely loved Eric, and Eric utterly and completely loved her. And the only thing that was stopping them was because she was his human wife. She was sick of being weak and being always beaten up. She always had a strong personality. I feel like she would have turned and then been his vampire wife and voided the contract. I feel like that's the way I thought it was going. And then in the last book, it just completely flipped the script.
Like, anytime Sookie doesn't like something, she pretty much takes it in her own hands.
Really
She's killed a number of people.
A dozen.
Yeah.
A few dozen, maybe.
That was kind of shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't and push kind of shove, they would have just killed the queen. Because it's not like they haven't, killed royalty before.
Right. Well, didn't they kill the queen and then didn't she kill the queen and dump her in the pool or something?
Lorena.
Right, that is.
Lorena. And just, it was the king. Remember, it was the new king who took over and had forced Quinn to start working for him. They killed him. He was the new king of Louisiana.
Quinn.
And Quinn. We'll get Quinn later.
I just would like to also say that I hate how books start us off with the juicy,
sex and then dwindles down.
And it's just like, oh, they had sex.
Because
moving on.
Sookie gets some. Sookie gets good. But I ain't never had. Woo!
But
Sookie gets more supernatural tale than any person I've ever met or known ever. Alright, she's a variety.
And she really doesn't have much shame about it.
No, look, for as long as she was a virgin, she deserves it. Okay, what's her number? 3? Bill. Eric. She never did it without Seed. Who did she do it with? Quinn?
Did she do it with Quinn?
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
So who else? It's 3.
Isn't there somebody else? I don't know. She's just had so much.
Those are her 3 main lovers.
Wow. Bill,
Eric, and Quinn. And Alcide could never, ever make a move. There's so many times, so many giant opportunities. How about when he first showed up and they obviously had an attraction to each other and they had to pretend to be married and just ask her out on a date.
How many men have slept in her bed?
For real.
Seriously. Oh.
I'm envious though. She gets some good Eric. Eric Northman. I love me some Eric Northman.
I love Eric Northman.
I like him more than I love me some Alexander. Alexander, I can't pronounce his last name, but
when you first knew who he was.
Oh yeah, I found.
Oh my god.
Maybe one day I'll post them on our little Tired of the Bull website on Facebook. But yes, I have naked shower pictures of the actor who played Eric.
And then almost so did I.
No clue how I found them. I just came across them one day and I was just like, save. Eric. I didn't like that they cut his hair, and they made him such a jerk in the show.
He was
now that we've talked about how disappointed we're in the last book, let's talk about the book to the TV show. First season, absolutely perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Right to the book. But then
Second season.
He wasn't even dead. And then they made it all about the Mynad. The Mynad was this small, itty bitty piece.
No, that was first season.
No, she was in the second season.
Was she?
Yeah, because remember she was in the second book because she was still dating Bill, and he was remember she was still dating Bill, and he got angry, and she walked out the car.
That really bad cut.
Yes, and that's one thing. Basically, the Mynad cut Sookie to get to Eric because he knew already Eric's affection. Like that's one point.
Eric's been in love with her since
the moment they saw each other.
He sent Bill to her.
It's like a deep love. No, he didn't. The Queen did.
Well, whatever.
But he's been like that's been her. That's been their. They've been soulmates forever. It just took them forever to get together.
And then she ripped him away. Ripped away their happy ending after he had deceived her with so many people.
Yeah, that was awful.
You really?
But
really?
But that's how deep it was, though. That in the second season, she'd only talked to Eric so many times that the Mynad knew that Sookie was special to Eric, and because Eric had not pleased her as a Mynad, he was supposed to basically give her a tribute, and he didn't. So basically, when Sookie was alone in the woods, she caught the opportunity and slashed her back to send a message to Eric. That's how deep it was.
It's always like
for anything that was even going between them. They knew how Eric felt. Eric, in the book, Eric deeply, deeply loves her and gives up so much for her and would sacrifice so much for her.
You think he's being a jerk the whole entire book until he's kind of like, well, I really did this because of blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, at first you think that he just wants to sleep with her.
Yeah.
Until he loses his memory and he gains it back. And even when he loses his memory, she's finally able to open up to him because he's a nicer, softer Eric who's not trying to get into her pants. And therefore is able to get into her pants.
Okay.
And just it's beautiful. But in the show, they just make him seem like a chauvinistic pig. And he's not.
He's like Tara as a vampire. She never had twins. She never got with JB.
Yeah.
He never stripped.
For real. JB's not even in it. Tara stays human. I mean, yeah, she had some parental issues, but they don't even talk about it. It was just
is still around.
Her parents were drunks and stuff, and she used to always stay at Sookie's house, and that's why they were best friends. But she always stayed human. Although she did
vampires.
She did date that werewolf, though. I mean, not the werewolf. Well, she did date a werewolf. No, she did Franklin Mott. Which one of her friends dated the werewolf?
One of them from the bar, right?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Tara, she stays human. She has twins. Sookie's the godmom, and everything's so sweet and stuff. But she did date Franklin Mott, but none of that craziness happened. He did kind of try to hold her hostage to get to Sookie.
Yeah.
But then Eric came and saved her, which was beautiful. And that was the time when he went back to the house. Because he couldn't remember what happened when he was under a trance. When the witches took his memory. Oh, yeah, the witches. Oh, the witches. But, we'll get back to that in a minute. But, yeah, basically, she did date Franklin. There is a bit sordid past, and he did kind of use her to try to get to Sookie and all that because of his maker, and a whole bunch of other crazy stuff happens. Eric called in a favor with the maker, made him call him off.
I just thought about how, the whole entire book, something is happening, and then, the vampires are really protective of her until the stuff really hits the fan. And it always happens when they're not there.
Yeah.
And she has to kind of, I can't wait for backup.
Sookie's really, really strong. She doesn't even try to wait for backup. She's just I'm going to handle this myself. Even the bomb, she wasn't okay, come snatch the bomb from me, Eric, or Quinn. All these stronger people who would probably be able to take it if it had blown up on them.
Exactly.
But, no, she's just okay, go get the squad team. Okay, good. The robot's going to take it? Fine. She doesn't ask for help. She's a very strong character, and I love that. And in the show, they don't do that justice. They really, really don't. How strong her personality really, really is.
Sure, she gets her ass kicked.
Tremendously. She's in the hospital
a lot
constantly. You want to know something sad? She gets buku money from Eric for doing little favors and stuff when she's always helping him investigate. But it's always hospital bills. It's like so messed up. So messed up because Sookie could be rolling in some dough.
She could. I mean, at least she gets that vampire blood high for a while.
Yeah, I'd love to be connected to Eric Northman.
And Eric gets that fairy blood
high. Oh my God, Pam. Pam is a 20-year-old girl who dresses the girliest, roofiest, like little. She dresses like a Lolita, for real. And
Show Pam is just so
depressing and old, and her storylines is so off.
Like,
and like Sookie and Pam are like best friends. I mean, they're not like best friends, but they're really nice to each other. Show Pam can't stand Sookie, and like the fact that she actually tries to separate Eric and Sookie, which is retarded because really she's trying to push Sookie and them together in the book. Because even when Eric found out about the whole thing, she was basically trying to give Sookie hints between she's like, I can't do it because he ordered me not to, but I can give you hints, Sookie.
Right,
there's something going on. You know, she always had Sookie's back. Always.
Everyone always has. Except for the bad guy. Yeah. And her crazy cousin.
Oh my God, her crazy cousin.
I do suggest, if any of you guys, probably most of you guys, who were unpleased with the last book to read she came out with some unanswered questions book after the last book that kind of gave you the closure you needed on everyone's stories. You're still going to be pissed off, but if you have some questions about some characters,
I didn't even read the last book. Just she read it first before me, and she told me what happened. I was just like, "What? No."
She still has never finished it to this day.
To this day, and it's on my bookshelf. I own it.
Like chapter 2. She's still on chapter 2.
No, not. I was at. Yeah, I'm further than that. I'm at the. Yeah.
Oh.
I was at the part where
it seems like chapter 2. It was getting really, really juicy until halfway through.
I think that's where I'm at. It's like halfway. I was very, very far along. I wasn't at chapter 2 anymore. But it's been so long, I really don't even remember what was the last part I was at. But
I really can't tell you what happened besides she got kidnapped by her crazy cousin. That didn't really work. Eric did not come and save her.
Yeah. Poor Sookie. She has a lot of crazy family members. Like between Haley, her Jason's practically twin, her uncle, and Claude. I mean,
I kind of miss her uncle a little bit.
Yeah, I know, he's a sweetheart. Dear God, I hate to see what they're gonna do with that. Oh yeah, they're not trying to colonize humans. The fairies aren't, and she can't just be going back and forth through the thing. The thing is this. Her grandfather's the king, and he lives there, and all that bull that they did with the king was retarded. Basically, there's like the water, and then there's like air or grass. There was like basically two different elements of fairies left. And it was like, and like the water sprites did kill her parents on purpose, but it had nothing to do to her being sold to some vampire. What? No, it was because basically, they were trying to punish the king. They knew that those were the king's family, and they were trying to punish the king, so they hired water sprites to go and do it. Yeah, Grandma had another side to her, the way you see.
Yeah, in the woods.
Yep. Doing the do. Anyway. She does get.
I'd go there.
Like, she does get kidnapped by some evil fairies. And they do horrible, unspeakable things that I will not mention on this blog. It was sad. Yeah, like, oh my God, it had me so bawling. Like, they were just like, oh my God, the most sick and twisted moment ever. This most sick and twisted moment ever out of the Sookie Stackhouse series. It was just awful.
Still not as sick and twisted as Game of Thrones. But
no, we can't talk about Game of Thrones yet. Negan or Lena, I can't say it right. We're going to talk about Game of Thrones, so you can be a part of that too. Cool. Maybe we'll do the Game of Thrones Twilight.
Sure. Cool.
What other points would I like to bring up? I talked about Eric truly loving her. Pam being younger and nicer. They did Bill right, but they did Bill weird later on with the whole him being the king. He was never the king. He wished he was the king.
So has Eric and Sookie had sex in the show?
Yes, but
so I wonder if that's awkward for, because show Bill is really Sookie's.
Oh, no, you can actually see it. They body doubled her.
Did they really?
And you pay attention. I didn't even notice it. My mother pointed it out. And I was like, oh. I was like, that's probably because Bill was like, no, I don't like it.
Right.
Cut.
Cut. Not at all. That's not happening.
One thing that I do like about the show is I like Jessica's character. I do. I don't like it anymore, but I liked it in the beginning. I wasn't too mad about Jessica.
Who is Jessica?
Jessica, Bill's sire in the show. The redhead who was with Hoyt.
Oh, the virgin girl that loses her virginity every single time.
Yeah, poor her.
Poor girl. I guess that's the question to ask. If you're getting turned into a vampire, in the meantime, say, hey, do me a favor. Take my virginity in the process, please. Please. That's all I want. Kind of creepy.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely despise and hate the show. It's utter complete trash.
Watch it. Well,
no, you know why? I quit. This is why.
When she woke up in Fairyland, I quit.
I actually have always loved tigers, especially white tigers, ever since I was growing up. So when I read the Sookie Stackhouse book, spoiler alert, and Quinn was in there, who was a were-tiger, he made me so happy. I love him. Like, I hate that he betrayed her. Spoiler alert. Sorry. Spoiler alert. He betrayed her.
This whole video is a spoiler.
Yeah, this whole video is. It's a little too late because it's around the end. But, yeah, like, I loved him. And I wanted to see who they were going to play as him. So I kept waiting. I kept watching and watching, waiting for him to come into the storyline. He never did. So when he didn't in the 5th season, because he was supposed to in the 5th book, I just quit because I was like, they're doing so much trash. He started dating Alfie, bro, in the show. I was like, what? In what universe? In what universe? Alfie wishes he could be with. He flirts, sure, but nobody ever makes a move. He tried to show up naked in her bed once, and that was a bust because she was like, nigga, please get about my house. It's too funny.
Oh man.
The books and the show disappoints me. The book, because the last one, I didn't like. They made book Eric start acting like show Eric, and they're
when Eric
so not.
Honestly, it went downhill when Eric announced that he was supposed to
marry her. Because again, I would have been like, oh, you're not going to void this contract, so we need to go down here and kill this chick real quick.
Yeah, that's typical. The response.
Yes, like truly and utterly.
Really, like
so out of character.
They even killed his. No, who was that? His maker, right?
Yeah, they killed his maker. Like to stop the thing. It was basically like, well, part of it was Sookie did it because she wanted to save the little boy that he was with and
raping.
Yeah, so that's the reason why she did it, and Eric wanted to do it to get from under his thumb because he was basically trying to force him into a marriage he didn't want to be in because he wanted to be with Sookie. Like, that right there knew that he was going to go through all strength because he killed his maker. Mm-hmm. That's huge. So why wouldn't he kill some snotty little queen?
So much older than him.
Yes, so much older. Why wouldn't he kill some little queen? Simple as that.
Some insignificant whore.
Yep.
Why not?
Yep. Alright. We're going to go ahead and end it.
Disappointment, truly.
Disappointment. Total disappointment. Just, they just slowly went down show to show. I actually stopped even caring about it. I was just waiting for Quinn, and I was like, this is a bunch of bull. What? And then Tara hooks up with Pam? What? No.
If Tara liked girls, I could almost see it if it was in the book. And if she liked vampires. But she absolutely hates him.
Yeah.
So that's really, really shocking. Yeah.
Well, she didn't choose to. Basically, she got her blown brain out by Debbie. And that's not what really happened.
Backwards.
Yeah, because basically this is exactly what happened, which is funny. Debbie was in the house and Sookie was there, and she had this thing, and then she was about to attack her. So Sookie hurried up and grabbed her thingy, was it her gun, popped open her brains, and then buried her in the woods. And this is how you know Halsey didn't give a freak. They was on their land running. It's like, you got 2 dead bodies? Yeah, and he knew which one of them was.
Yeah.
Like, so that's what happened to her. Okay, because he truly adored her, for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
It was deep.
Well, it could have been way better.
It could have. There's a thing between adding in your own creativity, and then there's a thing where you just start running with stuff. It was no longer the Sookie Stackhouse books. It's a good thing they didn't name it afterwards. If they had the same characters' names and maybe the same characters' species,
background.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's kind of weird.
Not even really background, because what about the werewolf witches? Weren't even werewolves, were witches and stuff. And
when added werewolf witches. What?
Remember the werewolf witches who took away Eric's memory?
Oh shit!
They were werewolves.
Wasn't they at least have?
That's what made their power extra strong.
Bob and what's the chick? Amelia.
Yeah. Oh.
Did they show them?
No.
I just wanted him to be a cat and then not be a cat. Like,
no. Who knows what they're gonna do with any of it? Who knows? I've stopped watching.
I just hate the way the last book ended. It just was like so rushed. Like,
in my head, I've already ended it. I know exactly what happened. I've gotten my closure.
I have my closure.
It's okay. We'll burn down Hollywood so they can't do this to any more of our books.
I just want to write her a letter. Like, why did she do that? Whatever.
It's okay. All right.